The general rule of thumb when faced with a forced landing in your single-engine aircraft is to find something soft, flat, and cheap upon which to land your aircraft, and then fly the aircraft as far as possible into the crash. Unfortunately, year after year, hundreds of pilots fail to even make it to the crash site, usually losing control of the aircraft by stalling and spinning the aircraft in before they even get to terra firma. But a very recent forced landing on a highway at night in Minnesota deserves exceptional merit. My name is Juan Brown. You're watching the Blanco Lirio channel. It's Friday, the 4th of December. Let's go inside for an update. Perfect. Wow. Here's the pilot in this incident, Craig Gifford, who happens to be a member of the IAC, the International Aerobatic Club. He is a member of the team that represents the USA in international aerobatic competitions. And here's one of the aerobatic aircraft he flies, the Extra 330. Here's his bio, over 4,500 hours, mostly general aviation time it looks like, but has already won a bronze in international competition flying for the IAC. That's a very prestigious level of aviation excellence to be on the IAC team, the International Aerobatic Club team representing the United States. Here's a brief clip of Craig showing the type of aerobatic flying he does, a 4-minute freestyle in the Extra 330. Bring up a little bit of that. Aerobatic flying is broken down into different categories. Unlimited category is, well, it's basically the top level of aerobatic competition. But any pilot can get into aerobatics, and I highly recommend it. I did this myself. The International Aerobatic Club has club competitions starting out at the sportsman level and allows just about anybody with an aerobatic aircraft into these aerobatic competitions. And there's no better way to hone your flying skills than to become a part of the IAC. As we see, you never know when you might need those superior flying skills. The aircraft Craig is flying is a 1979 Bellanca 1730 Super Viking, IO 520 Continental powered, 300 horsepower, handcrafted machine by the Bellanca Aircraft Corporation. The unique thing about the Bellanca is its construction. It's a welded 4130 chrome moly steel structure that makes up the fuselage. This old school style of production makes for an extremely strong fuselage, much like you see on dragsters or race cars. This allows you to place a fabric covering over the fuselage and achieve a very desirable aerodynamic shape over a very robust fuselage. The wings of the Viking are wood, nature's composite, again making a very strong and lightweight structure. And the drawback of this is each individual aircraft has to be basically hand-built. Giuseppe Bellanca has been putting out wonderful performing designs for years and years. The handling of these particular aircraft, the Viking aircraft, is crisp and almost aerobatic-like in its handling capabilities. Also extremely stable for instrument flying. Okay, let's take a closer look at this and break this down. These light poles hanging over these freeways just terrify me. If you hit one of these light poles, it's pretty much game over, depending on well, what altitude you hit these light poles at. But check out here as Craig threads these light poles perfectly. Then he gets lined up here with the center lane, and he's in between cars. He's in between traffic. The lady in the car up here simply nobody has time to react on the ground here. This is just such a shocking sight to see an airplane come right down onto the freeway at night at you that I don't think she has time to react at all to this. Now, the stalling speed on the Bellanca Viking is about, say, 60, 65 miles an hour in the landing configuration. So the stalling speed is just right about freeway speeds, and he's blending into the freeway speeds here pretty well, a little bit faster than everybody else. I suspect your first reaction of panic as the driver of this vehicle might be to slam on your brakes, which is only going to exacerbate the situation. I'm not sure exactly if that's the case here, but touches down perfectly on center line right in the middle of the road. That means he's clearing the K-rail on the left with his left wingtip, and he's cleared the light poles on the right with his right wingtip. Of course, he's headed towards an underpass ahead. Now he's got a choice to make here. He's gaining on the car ahead of him, so he makes the correct choice. He's continuing to fly the airplane. He's now going to maneuver the airplane to split the difference between the car and the K-rail, which means sacrificing the left wingtip into the K-rail. Right there. And he about tags the rear end of the SUV at about the same time, spinning the Viking around to the right, the aircraft around to the right, and the SUV is going to spin into the Viking to the left and push it up onto the K-rail. And there he gets pushed up into the K-rail, and it's all over. All the energy is dissipated. Everybody walks away. Just an outstanding job. Now, as we look at the aftermath results here on Kathryn's report, we can just see how well this robust design held up in this forced landing. There's a great interview with one of the drivers. I'll post a link down below. Craig was very apologetic to the driver of this SUV. He tried his hardest to not hit her, but they ended up coming together. So there's the Bellanca Viking up on the K-rail after being pushed up by the collision with the SUV. You can take a look at the propeller there. You can see there was certainly no power to that engine at all. Why the engine quit remains yet to be determined by investigators. They'll be able to test run this engine and figure that out pretty quick. Looks like the left main gear got pushed back into the retracted position after the aircraft was shoved up onto the K-rail. But the aircraft is in remarkably intact condition, a testament to the robust design of the Bellanca Viking. Here's Craig and his passenger stepping off the airplane. And craning the airplane up off of the K-rail and sending it back to the airport. Just a little bit of damage to the left rear of the SUV. So just an outstanding effort by Craig Gifford of the IAC and a high-performance single-engine failure at night in Minnesota, reminding us all to stay in the training, expand your envelope, get out there and learn new things. The FAA minimum requirements are just that. They are the minimums. You need to go well above and beyond the FAA minimum requirements for training and development of your pilot flying skills to help you in situations like this. Thanks so much for your support of this channel, and thanks so much for the support on Patreon that makes this content possible. See you here.